Hello. Welcome to another thrilling episode of PROG Review. Yeah, we're doing it differently these days. We're just going to do it seat of the pants stuff. It's Jethro Tull's A la Mode 40th Anniversary Edition. Now, before we start, I must implore you, if you're the sort of person who asked the question, why did you buy this if you didn't like it, without any hint of irony or understanding of how illogical that question is, please leave. Don't forget to click the thumbs down as you go, because we know that is the idiot detector. That's how we know how many idiots are watching. Again, and also if you have an issue with reviews that are not totally positive, or maybe you can't understand that people have contrary views to yourself, please leave. Don't forget to hit the thumbs down as you go. And I think that's about it, really. I think we've got there. I think I can now continue. For we have an interesting take again, another hot take for his Jethro Tull's the A la Mode 40th Anniversary Edition. The album is the 13th studio album by the band. Originally released way back on the 29th of August 1980. As you all know, originally meant to be a solo album by Mr. Ian Anderson himself, but ended up being turned into that by the record company. Damn those record company types! And we have an interesting review here for, I suppose you'd call this Schrodinger's review, for I both like it and dislike it at the same time. Yes, I'm going to prove that you can think something's great and utterly hate it at the same time. That's where we're going with this review. Should we do the positives first? Let's do the positives first. This is another great... You've seen the unboxing, hopefully. If you haven't, go watch it. This is another great entry into the Jethro Tull rejiggered version. These book versions are fantastic. Loads of content, loads of stuff inside. Great stuff. Really enjoy reading about it, because again, if you don't know the history, Anderson gets rid of, he has a clear out after Stormwatch, and we end up with this band, it kind of, again, because it was meant to be a solo band, it wasn't meant to be Jethro Tull, and so he tries to get a different band going, different impetus behind the recordings, and again, it's all in there. Fascinating to read. But it doesn't improve the record any better. It doesn't make the record any good for me, I'm afraid. I don't like the record. But yeah, it's full. The booklet, just the book alone, is worth the price of admission. What else do you get? Of course, it's the obligatory Steven Wilson stereo remix. Can't polish a turd. But you also get a live show from the LA Sports Arena from 1980, over 2 discs, or I think it's all on one of the DVDs. It's all right. It sounds good, but because it contains a lot of A in it, I'm not a big fan. Again, my interest has waned now in Jethro Tull. There's a certain point, I think it's around the point of Heavy Horses, where Anderson's voice is just, I don't know, it's just not working, and it's quite evident here, on A and subsequent recordings. He's kind of, it's not what it was. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm going to let Heavy Horses go because there's some nice tunes on that one, but when we get to this one, I've never enjoyed it. And before you say you didn't listen to it enough, trust me, I've listened to it enough. I have, honest, I did listen to it enough. I said enough. The problem with A is a lot of these progressive bands, the 80s came along, and it was problematic for them. I think it's the only band to kind of make it through the 80s successfully was Genesis. All the others kind of floundered, or had false starts, or completely reinvented themselves, like Yes did with 90125. But this is what we see here. We see them trying to find their way. There's this new wave sound coming in, and the music scene has changed again and again and again. There have been many changes, and that's what you get here. This is them reacting to that. Now, again, some of the material, some of it is, I think lyrically there's some interesting stuff here. Everyone talks about Black Sunday. It's interesting, and Battery's not included. Protect and Survive. Again, somebody who grew up in the 80s remembers the booklets and how we were going to survive a nuclear attack. Read and watch When the Wind Blows by Raymond Briggs. He of the Snowman fame, and Father Christmas, and and all the other ones. Go and watch that, or read it, and that's probably a much more interesting take on the Protect and Survive booklets of the day. So Anderson lyrically is of the moment, and that's cool. He's doing all that, but I find the music an utter exercise in drudgery. It's just it's a hard listen for me, and I don't find any of it interesting. Again, the Pine Martin's jig, which is them doing their "Hey Nonny Nonny, we're a folk band" thing, is light relief, but I find it really, really, really difficult to listen to. Unpleasant. Some may say I find it unpleasant to get through this album, and like I said, I've had another version of it which had the Slipstream VHS/DVD, and we're just going to talk about that because it's included here. So yeah, the album I think is a complete, it's completely, sorry, just don't like it. Sorry. Gonna thumbs it down anyway, Darren. You might as well prog on, as it were. So anyway, like I say, so you got that. You got the album. It's been rejiggered. You can't polish a turd. Surround sound, surround sound's wonderful. Blah blah blah. And you got live material, which is great. And what I like about this is the way they create the material. We're not gonna give you 10 live shows and a load of codswallop you're gonna listen to once. They give you the album, they give you any offcuts that are in the archive, and a live show from the time to give you a little whiff of what it was like, a little nosegay of actually being there. And I like that. It's a snapshot. These represent a snapshot of the time. That's why I like them. And then you come to this Slipstream DVD, which what they've done with that, I'm trying to think, because I've got the other version of it. I don't think they've tweaked it. It's not in HD or anything. I think it's just like an upscale from the original VHS. But they've added the 5.1 surround sound tracks to the video, so it sounds like zhuzhy. It's all zhuzhed up. The Slipstream DVD video is interesting because, again, Jethro Tull were at the cutting edge there. And I don't think people realise, and it's in the booklet. It talks in the booklet how Chrysalis, the record company, wanted to get into movies, and they wanted to use this as a showcase of what they could do, and that's why David Mallet directed it. He did loads of stuff. Go look him up. He directs it's a live show and a number of more traditional MTV style videos with them acting out songs and doing a little narrative pieces, and I find it endearing. It's of the time, and you watch it and you go, I remember the 80s when when videos appeared on VHS and the music video was an art form. And this is Jethro Tull and Chrysalis at the very, 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 very start doing their thing, and that's kind of exciting. And even though, again, I don't get it, it doesn't quite work, there's a lot of charm, there's a lot of charm in that. And, it's like, okay. and the band isn't the band that plays on the songs. Some, it's all a bit, it's the band of the time of the A. That's me doing an A with my fingers. It's that band appearing in the videos dressed up as but they didn't play on the song. So that's why when I watched it originally, I'm like, what's going on? I didn't quite understand it. But then I read the little essay about it in this booklet, and it's interesting. They were trying to do something new, as it were. So yeah, it's worth it for the Slipstream if you've not seen it. That's another benefit. I did enjoy watching it again. I've seen it a few times, and like I say, that's the whole reason to enjoy it for me. As I do enjoy the Slipstream thing. Don't like the A album at all. I just think it's a bit of a stinker. But I love the package is good. They do a good. I wasn't going to get it, but you talked me into it. And I get to read about it again. But for me, I'm not really a Jethro Tull fan. Don't get it. Never will get it. And there you go. Oh man, everyone's going to hate me now. But is it worth picking up? Of course it is. It's just worth the money, purely for the booklet alone and the work that goes into that. Because again, Anderson is interviewed and he tells his side of the story. Yeah, I think is it balanced? Well, no, it's always going to be balanced towards Anderson because it's his gig. And there's a bit where he explains the meanings of the song meanings and everything, which is pretty cool if you're not familiar with it. So it comes straight from the horse's mouth, and what went on behind the scenes, the whole Slipstream thing, and how they went to Cannes. Fascinating. And yeah, as a lovely historical document, it's really cool. And if you're a Jethro Tull fan, you must be made up, because they really do look after you. They look after you really well. And it's just so much stuff. Interviews with David Mallet as well, and yeah, you can't quibble. So it gets 5 crossfires out of 5. This gets 5 out of 5, but the album itself only scores 1 4WD out of 5. It's only 1 4WD out of 5. I know it's 4-wheel drive. Come on, give me a break here. And that's how I can like something and dislike it at the same time. I thank you. No, don't applaud me. I know. This is what makes me the genius I am. It's frightening, isn't it? I frighten myself. So yeah, we'll wait and see. I'll probably be another one out soon, next year or whatnot. I guess I'll pick it up and give it a 5, because I've got to. Only the benefit one scores low, because I didn't really put that much effort into it, because it was the dawn of doing these. But the rest of them are just, they're well worth picking up. And I'm just glad I sold mine at a massive profit, so that a true fan could rub themselves against them in an intimate and erotic way that I could never do, because it's not Genesis. And there we go. Thank you for watching. My name's been Darren Locke. I've been talking about A, or A la Mode 40th anniversary edition by that there Jethro Tull. And an interesting, strange band. I will never fully get their popularity. And that's that. Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, and by now, oh God, we all know what that is, and that is PROG on.